India's leading smartphone vendor Xiaomi is back with its new offerings. In this review, we will talk about the more exciting Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now, Redmi Note 4 was a bestseller last year, and with this launch, Xiaomi brings in a real upgrade to its fans and yet again for a budget pricing. At a starting price of 13K, Redmi Note 5 Pro gets a great display, better camera, faster processor, and keeps up with the battery life promise. Now, why do I say a great display? The phone comes with a 5.99 inches display with an 18:9 aspect ratio. Now, this is in line with what the competitors are offering, and Xiaomi is bringing the trend of edge-to-edge displays for its budget smartphones as well. So there's extra viewing space, thinner bezels, and overall the brightness of the display is simply stunning. Now let's talk about the camera. On paper, the specifications are great for the pricing. Xiaomi is bringing a dual rear camera to the back, and on the front you get a 20 megapixel selfie camera. Now, camera is the big change in the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and in my 2 weeks of review, this is one feature that I've been testing out quite a lot. And here's what I think about it. First, the Pro's rear camera is a huge improvement over the Redmi Note 4, and I would say it has a slight edge over the Redmi Note 5 as well. The shots are crispier and the images have a lot more details in them, especially if I'm considering the price. Also, it should come as no surprise that this phone now has a portrait mode, but Xiaomi's gone a notch up and even the front camera gets a portrait mode. So while the overall image quality has improved, I would say this portrait mode is a bit of a hit and miss. Yes, some shots do come out stunning provided you have ample lighting and it looks right. Portraits of small objects also work out well, which can be a pretty tricky terrain for a lot of smartphone cameras. However, at times I feel the portrait mode takes a bit too long to focus and you can lose patience with this. Now, coming to the front camera, this is a huge improvement of the Redmi Note 4, which had a 5 megapixel front camera. I would say the portrait mode is not bad here at all, and in fact, if you have the right lighting and strike the right pose, the portrait mode makes for good selfies, especially for social media. Finally, coming to the video recording, I wish Xiaomi had improved the feature considering this is a Pro version of the phone. It's just not that great yet. Overall, I'd say the camera still needs some software tweaks, perhaps to fine-tune that portrait feature. Now coming to the performance of the Redmi Note 5 Pro. This phone has one big change, a new processor, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 636, which promises a flagship-like performance. Now, in our Antutu benchmark test, the phone scored above 1 lakh, which is very rare on most phones under 20,000. Overall, when it comes to daily performance, there was no such issue on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Another plus, the device does not heat up with prolonged usage, especially if you're gaming for a really long time. Coming to the battery, that's never really been a disappointment on the Redmi Note series. This time too, the Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 4000 mAh battery, and this should easily last a day for most users. However, the bad part, there is no Type-C USB charging and no fast charging either. The phone takes a good 2 hours plus to get to 100%. Now, it's not all great on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. There is one major disappointment in my opinion, and that's the lack of Android Oreo. Unlike rival Honor 9 Lite, which does launch with the latest OS. I mean, this is 2018. Why would you not launch with the latest OS on your phone? Also, look out for that face recognition. This will unlock the phone by recognizing the user's face. This is a trend that we're seeing on a lot of other phones, and yes, the iPhone X has made it popular. Good to see that Xiaomi is offering it for under 13K. However, it will only come to the Redmi Note 5 Pro by March 2018. So what's our verdict for the Redmi Note 5 Pro? If you have the Redmi Note 4 or even the older Redmi Note 3, it makes more sense to upgrade to this considering that it has a better processor, there's even a version with 6GB RAM, and yes, the dual rear camera. However, if your budget is under 12,000, the Redmi Note 5 might make more sense. Nonetheless, we have to say that this is one of the most exciting phones to hit the market for under 20,000. For more details and to read our full review, do go to indianexpress.com and check out the technology section.